Welcome back to the channel, everybody. A little bit of an early morning video today, but I didn't want to wait on this information. I thought this was huge, and the implications are huge in my humble opinion. I'm getting a little bit better. The comment section helped me out a lot. They recommended teas and different things, so I'm getting a little bit better. I feel a little bit better this morning. We're going to push through. This is from coinedition.com, and it's titled, UBS acquires Credit Suisse. All right, now let's scroll down here. This is huge. Why? UBS is one of our banks. One of the banks that utilizes Ripple. Hold on. I'm going to go to this article and show you, okay? Seeing is believing. This is an old article. They posted this long ago on ripple.com. And it says, let me just read this little tidbit. It says, today we are building on that foundation, announcing the addition of 7 financial institutions to our ever-growing network. Santander, UniCredit, UBS. The UBS that just acquired Credit Suisse. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a double-edged sword because Credit Suisse has a lot of problems. A lot of problems. That's number one. Number two, I'm not so sure that UBS has a plan on how to solve that, because a lot of these banks that had to bid on these failing banks, they were compelled to do so. So it's not like they thought, no, maybe they did know in advance. But you can't know the timeline of when these dominoes are going to fall. So there's no telling if they have a plan on how to resolve those problems. That's number two. Number three, it could be a great thing, because who can solve a liquidity issue better than Ripple, better than us? Credit Suisse, although they're doing terrible, is one of the biggest banks on earth. Can you imagine the capital that we would have to move if, this may not happen. It probably won't happen, but it could. Small possibility, but it could. What if XRP was deployed to create a liquidity cushion for Credit Suisse? Like, look at the time. Look at the way things are happening, the timeline. So we're getting close to the end of the case. Then all of a sudden, and I don't remember the reasons, all of these big entities decided to pull money out of a lot of these banks. I'm putting Credit Suisse to the side. Now I'm thinking more SVB, because I have to go to the beginning of how all this occurred. They just decided to pull out 42 billion. No problem, 42 billion. Then that causes all of these collapses. And now UBS acquires Credit Suisse around the time. This stuff could happen at any time. There is no chance. All right. There is no randomness, everyone. I don't believe in that. Chance is but cause and effect unrecognized. There's a cause for every effect, and this is a big effect. So all of this is happening around the same time that Ripple might get an ending to the case. I don't know, but that doesn't seem like it's random, in my humble opinion. Just my humble opinion. You could disagree. But if Ripple had to step in, right? Let's say they win the case, and then at that time they step in to assist UBS with providing liquidity and balancing Credit Suisse and maybe a myriad of other failing banks. We are in prime position right now. This is what we do. Provide liquidity in a variety of ways. I know we usually think in one way, right? Transference of funds, making sure you have enough liquidity to run that capital through so it comes out on the other side. I know. But that liquidity can be used to assist in bank runs. For example, XRP can be used the same way that Circle used their funds that were on the side to back USDC when everybody was liquidating. And still Circle was deploying that excess capital, that liquidity cushion, in order to repeg USDC. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they brought that peg back up. They did. Now, that's what Circle can do. If Circle can do that, we can do at least 10 times better than that. At least. Which would do what to that XRP price? I keep thinking about it. I'm going to get to the article, but this could be a huge chess move. It may not be, things may not be actuated right now. Actualized right now. But this is something to keep in mind for the future. It's just my humble opinion. I'm going to keep an eye on it. So UBS is one of our banks. Let's go back to the article now. It says here, the Saturday Asia briefing, the weekend market analysis highlighted multinational investment bank UBS Group's acquisition of the falling investment banking company Credit Suisse. The report also narrated the Supreme Court's first hearing on crypto regarding Coinbase's arguments on arbitration of 2 lawsuits That's less important to me. It's important also, but it's less important in my humble opinion. Interestingly, Bloomberg, the television platform, shared a Twitter thread quoting, quote, UBS works on a deal with Credit Suisse while crypto heads to the Supreme Court. Come on, Coin Edition, you got to give me that information. Feed it to me. Don't keep me waiting now. Notably, I'm talking out loud what I'm thinking in my head. Notably, subsequent to Credit Suisse's failure of an emergency funding lifeline. That was oh my word, that's another thing. We're going to see how this works out. I believe that the Saudi national bankers who had like a 9% stake in Credit Suisse as a lifeline. We'll see how this works out. They're probably going to need a liquidity cushion here at some point. If the wounds are too deep, we'll see. The investors lost trust in the Swiss bank. According to the people familiar with the matter, the Swiss regulators sought to merge UBS, the Swiss banking giant, and Credit Suisse as a source of resolution. It has been revealed earlier that the boards of the two Swiss banks would be summoned for an official meeting. They're going to have to. UBS, please. UBS, do not allow the board. I know you have to respect the board of Credit Suisse, but they've made all the wrong moves. And I've seen something strange happen where people make all the wrong moves. They tend to be what? There's an old saying. How did they phrase it? Wrong and strong. There we go. I almost forgot. They tend to be wrong and strong. Don't do that. Come in there dominant. Come in there strong. You're the winning bank. You're the power here. And you're one of us. You're a part of XRP or XRPL. Go in there dominant and assure them that you're going to guide the ship safely to shore. All right. All right. We don't need Credit Suisse messing up anything that we have going on. If anything, we rescue them, but we don't let them bring us down. All right. So it says here, let's continue on. It says, though the regulators are much interested in the union of financial bodies, the banks seemingly are less enthusiastic. Of course, it's what I'm talking about. This pessimistic attitude, even though your ship is sinking. Similarly, the leading crypto exchange Coinbase, I'm not too interested in what's going on with Coinbase here. Okay, so now I want to read this a little bit here so we can get a better understanding of what's going on here. Now, this is from CNN.com, but it's from CNN Business, right? So they tend to get things, they tend to get some things right. It says here, Credit Suisse, the 167-year-old bank and the second largest lender in Switzerland, is in deep trouble. The bank said it would borrow up to 50 billion. Okay, so that's not the part I want to get to. I want to get to the potent information here. It says Credit Suisse is one of the biggest financial institutions in the world. That's another thing. That's another thing. Keep in mind. So if they're able to right this ship, keep it from capsizing, understand that there will be a massive amount of capital coming out of Credit Suisse. And who's going to move that capital? UBS is a Ripple partner. You're using the XRPL. That means all of that capital could possibly be flowing through the XRPL if everything goes according to plan. What would it do to that price? One of the biggest financial institutions in the world has merged with a bank that's with us. Think about that for a moment. What would it do to that price? Let me know your comments. I'd love to hear them. Let's go down here. It says, now, this is important. Why is Credit Suisse struggling now? It says central banks around the world have been raising interest rates to slow down inflation and cool the global economy. Yeah, but that's not the reasoning. Let's see if they talk about the Saudi bank, because I read another article about that. It says, but that process has left some banks vulnerable. Fears about weaker lenders exploded last week with Silicon Valley. That we know. Here it is. They actually do. Okay. So you're doing a good job, CNN. Okay. The trigger for Wednesday's rout in Credit Suisse shares wasn't rising rates. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I read a couple articles about this already. It came from comments by the bank's biggest backer, the Saudi National Bank. Says that it wasn't prepared to put up more money after buying a near 10% stake for 1.5 billion last year. Yeah, they've been a lot of institutions, as far as what I know, have been pouring money into Credit Suisse, trying to save it. It says, what was going on Credit Suisse before this meltdown? Credit Suisse has been struggling for years. It was widely seen as the weakest link among Europe's large banks, according to Kinningham. The company has been plagued by a series of missteps and compliance failures. Wow, compliance, and yet they're worried about crypto. in recent years that costed billions and led to several overhauls of top management. And over the past decade, the Swiss bank has been hit with fines and penalties related to redacted, I'm not going to say that here, misplaced bets and other issues. In 2014, Credit Suisse pled guilty to federal charges that it redactedly allows some U.S. clients to evade their redacted. Wow, bro. UBS. Let me say this, UBS. Be very careful with these people right here. Like, holy smokes, man. These individuals are grimy. The bank's reputation was damaged by an accounting scandal. Holy smokes, is one bad thing after another. Credit Suisse, why were you in business? Why did they? But you see this corruption? No one in crypto would have got away with this. They would have come to you with the guillotine immediately. But for years and years and years, they just kept giving Credit Suisse a pass. Credit Suisse acted as an underwriter when the company went public, okay? In 2020, Credit Suisse CEO, I'm not going to say that individual's name, resigned after 2 high-profile spying scandals. All right, this is a bad organization, my word. And once again, you have all these politicians pointing the finger at crypto. Okay, so now let's go here. It says, what's next for Credit Suisse? The lifeline from Swiss National Bank could buy time for Credit Suisse to restore confidence and push on with restructuring plans. I want to see if they give details. That's the problem with a lot of these articles. They don't give details. Like, how is that capital going to be deployed? Ongoing market confidence. In our view, status quo is no longer an option as counterparty concerns. Well, you have to regulate your own system. You know, make them comply and stop giving free passes. That's the problem. You're pointing the finger at crypto, coming down hard on crypto, when all the regulatory and regulatory compliant crypto companies are the ones you're going after, and they never caused a problem in the first place. So, you know, the legacy system is doing terrible. It looks like they're in a full-on collapse right now, but we'll see. We'll see how this all works out. Let's move on to another article here, okay? And this is a good example. So this article is from U.Today, and it's titled, Regulators Now Target ETH Instead of XRP. So here, it says, John Deaton, pro-crypto lawyer and legal expert, continues shedding more light on the case of Ethereum holders versus New York State Attorney General. In his recent tweet, Deaton drew the public's attention to the fact that despite XRP being traded on KuCoin earlier, the Attorney General chose ETH for some reason to charge the exchange with selling unregistered securities. Now, isn't that interesting? Now, one possibility is they may have said to themselves, well, the SEC is already suing Ripple, so, you know, that case is going on. We don't need to take more legal actions and step on any toes, right? And they're not sure of the outcome. Another possibility is they already know Ripple's going to win, and XRP is a commodity, not a security. Also, they saw what happened in the LBRY case. So there's no reason to pursue it like that, in my humble opinion. I say this to ETH holders, you better get ready. You better get ready, my word. The smear campaigns are coming. You know, this is a shame. It really is. It really, really is. I want to see all of crypto win, to be honest, all the good crypto win. This is terrible, but just be careful. I mean, I can't tell people what to do, but be careful, stay up on the catalyst, stay on the news, because when the negative news starts to fly and the system is going to come at you hard, then those prices can, right? This is how it goes. We'll see, right? Let's continue here. It says, quote, it is a coordinated long game play, writes the lawyer, with regulators now targeting Ethereum and staking to eventually shut down all such projects. To prove his point, Deaton shared a quote from the case, which reads that ETH holders can make a profit merely by participating in staking the token. As reported earlier by U.Today, the lawyer gathered more than 1,000 ETH owners for a class action lawsuit against the New York State Attorney General. Good job, Mr. Deaton. This guy is a real warrior, in my humble opinion. He doesn't have to do this. This is a heck of a fight. Both the Ripple case and the XRP case and the ETH case. How do people hate this guy? I mean, he's doing it. He's doing a good job as far as I can see. Let's move on here, okay? This is the last article here. People are going to be leaving. Not only individuals, but companies are going to be leaving the United States, well, the West overall, it's better for people to see it for themselves. I don't just want to tell you, I want to show you. So this is a article from beincrypto.com, and it's titled Coinbase Planning New Platform Offshore. And it goes as such. According to Bloomberg's sources, Coinbase has informed its institutional clients about the intentions of setting up a new trading platform offshore. Due to its tight regulatory, they mean regulatory, sorry about that. That's what they mean, regulatory. Due to its tight regulatory environment, the US has made it difficult for crypto firms to conduct business. Well, let me say this. They've made it very difficult for crypto firms to do business. But really, if you look at some of these states and all of the laws and other things they have going on, it's hard to do business in some of these states. They just my humble opinion, you could disagree, but they are not friendly to business, which is concerning. That's another thing that the West has to be concerned about, particularly in the United States. It's like, how do you thrive in some of these places? They regulate you to death. Oh man, and then they have that other thing that they do where they're reaching in your pocket, you know what I'm saying? And they're just gonna take as much as they can. Let's continue on here. So it says, the community believes the US will miss out on crypto innovation with its strict stance. Of course, it's already happening. I had an article here and I made a mistake and I closed it out. And it was about the United Arab Emirates. They are dominating. I mean, they are taking over. They're making themselves, they are the crypto hub right now. Like they have the most delicious offerings and regulations. Yeah, they're winning right now. So the rest of the world is feeding on crypto, ready to explode, thrive. And the West is just, my goodness, I don't know what the plan is here. Control collapse has to be it. Many of my subscribers have postulated such, but let's scroll down here. It says the exchange wants to establish an alternative venue independent of the main Coinbase market. In fact, Emily Choi, the chief operation officer, said international expansion is going to continue to be a very core part of how we operate. There has yet to be any confirmation about the location of the new platform, but the countries such as the UK, UAE, so United Arab Emirates is in there again. There you go, again. UK, I don't think they're going to the UK. I don't. UAE and Hong Kong. Hong Kong also is a good choice. That's like I told people, my word, people don't see what's coming. And I think there's a great possibility the rest of the world gives the bank coins the incentive to say, you know what, forget the West, flip the switch. I really feel we'll keep our eye on the catalyst, but look how they're positioning themselves. They're getting ready to deploy the new financial system. My apologies, everyone. My voice is still like a little bit affected from like congestion right here. But anyway, it says, but the countries such as UK, UAE, and Hong Kong are all racing to be crypto hubs. And Hong Kong is moving at a lightning pace, but the UAE is already far out ahead. That's the thing, right? It says our potential candidates, earlier being crypto reported that Coinbase aims to expand internationally in the next 8 weeks. Oh, they're moving very quickly. And it says, we will begin with Singapore. So there you have it. The rest of the world getting ready to deploy. And there's no timeline on this. I have no idea when they're going to do this, but I know they're moving fast. Rest of the world getting ready to deploy the new financial system. What will the West continue to do? We will see. What will the result be? We'll see. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? Appreciate every single one of you out there. Thank you so much. And thank you for leaving those comments in the comment section about drinking tea and things like that to get better. Oh, you are the best. Literally the best. I appreciate every single one of you. So until next time, let's get to the money.